Top five, top five, top five.
Sun Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wayne. He is Nate. We're doing top 5 DC movies for the 36-hour Justice League movie coming out on HBO Max. So tell us how the top 5s work.
So he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, and we'll trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, we'll save the conversation until when we get to it on their list.
Yeah, but before we go check out our DCEU movies, in the corner somewhere, we did that for Wonder Woman 88. But 84. This is 4 years. Big whoop. This is all the DC movies. That's facts. I finished high school in 4 years, surprisingly.
Very.
This is all the DC movies, which is why, well, shit. My number 5 is actually a DCEU movie, and it is Suicide Squad. Is it a good movie?
No.
Does it provoke one very, very, very good memory? Yes, because I got some of the best vagina of my entire life while this movie was on in the background. I was doing all kinds of shit. I was picking her up. We was on the bed. We was on this couch to be exact.
Well, that's why I built this cushion to put on top of it.
Yeah. You see that stain over there?
Yeah.
Ew.
But my number 4 is also another DCEU movie, and it's my favorite DCEU movie. It's Shazam. Shazam's like Big, and I love Big. It's simple. It's fun. It's got some heartfelt moments in it that actually translate off the screen, which DCEU movies, they're pretty dark and gritty, and you don't get that often. So to have that in this movie, I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed the character. I wanted to see more. And at a time when we got 47 MCU movies, 13 DCEU movies, and all the movies in between, the fucking 39 X-Men movies that didn't work except for Deadpool and Wolverine and Fantastic Four Stick, whatever the fuck it was called, all these superhero movies. And I was like, I don't want to see any more superhero movies. And I was like, I want to see another Shazam movie, though. That shit's fire, which is why it made my list.
Makes sense.
To preface this, I made myself a rule because this could have easily just been 5 Batman movies. So I made myself a rule. I was only going to put 2 Batman movies on the list. One of them is not my number 5. My number 5 is Watchmen. I like this movie a lot. It's my number 5 because it's really freaking long, has some slight pacing issues. But, like, it's different. It is, like, a very dark movie. It's not your typical superhero movie. I really like dialogue-driven films a lot, which is not something you see in the superhero or comic book, whatever, however you want to categorize it.
It's like a graphic novel.
Stupid.
It's still DC. And I love that a lot. So I really enjoyed that movie. Could have used a few tweaks. I hear the TV show is amazing. I have not watched it yet. So I'm going to jump on that because that just reminded me that it existed and that I've heard lots of good things about it.
Jump on it. You better sit on the couch and watch it.
Whack.
So my number 4 is my only DCEU movie on the list, and I went with Wonder Woman.
I figured it would be on your list.
I also love Shazam.
I'm glad it is because I already put it in the thumbnail.
Nice. I absolutely love Shazam. I just, objectively speaking, I think I love them both. Wonder Woman was just, a touch better overall to me.
See, to me, because Wonder Woman was also close to making mine, and we do this, we were like, oh, that was my number 6. Oh,
Yeah.
that was my number 6. I went with entertainment.
That's
Wonder
fair.
Woman, better movie.
No, that's fair. That's a valid.
Shazam, more entertaining.
It's a valid reason for your list.
It would have been my number 6 for sure.
Yeah. I found Wonder Woman. It was entertaining. It was not as entertaining as Shazam. I'm not no argument there at all. But yeah, great action sequences. The movie had some heart to it. It had an incredibly miscast David Thewlis. He was Ares. Yeah. That was the only bad part of the movie to me. Other than that, I was completely enthralled the whole time in a movie in a universe that I have not been interested at all in up until that point. So that was really nice. So I gave it my number 4 spot. Also representation, which I think is important.
That's a fact.
You limit yourself on the Batman movies. I did not. I did have a rule for myself, though, and they had to be in theaters, which is why my number 3 is Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
That's my number 2.
Nostalgic.
I rewatched it today. Oh, that's a good movie.
I'm about to. I knew it well enough. I was like, I don't need to rewatch it, but I want to rewatch it. And after I talk about it, I'm gonna want to rewatch it more. And I'd rather want to rewatch it more than watch it and then talk about it, because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But nostalgia doesn't always hold up. This holds up,
Yes.
and this movie is
Phenomenal.
such a good story of Batman, and it's deeper because it's in the theaters. Like, they knew their audience. So, like, yeah, kids love this shit, but adults, teenagers, college kids, this is so good, and the animation style is so beautiful and crazy great. It transcends your cartoon. So they made something for the adults. So, like, yeah, we got the kids and, like, you guys covered still, but you're gonna fucking love this. And it's unlike anything I've seen in the Batman animated series, but it's still enough like it, obviously, that I'm like, I'm glad this exists on another level.
Yeah. Yeah, I rewatched it today, and it's probably the first time I've seen it in like 3 or 4 years. That might be on my like yearly watch list now. It's so good. And like, I mean, I struggled. I had to think really, really hard. And I was like, man, is this the best Batman movie ever? Because it's so layered. Like, this movie, it's so layered. Like, you have Batman versus crime mob stuff, Batman versus Joker stuff. You have a little bit of Playboy Bruce Wayne, but then you get to see this side of Bruce Wayne that, like, when have we ever, like, seen it fleshed out like that? Like, you get to see Bruce Wayne legit falling in love with someone, right? And not, like, hard-steeled, I'm kind of already Batman, Bruce Wayne, like, just beginning. But that's the other thing. You get, like, the middle part of Batman's origin story that we just don't get to see, like, in that light a lot. Like, you know, other things have done League of Shadows and things like that. This skipped over League of Shadows. He's back in Gotham and just, like, trying to figure out, like, how he's going to do this, you know? And I fucking love that. Like, that's just a section. We did not have to see his parents die again, because guess what? We already knew that. We don't need it.
Again.
It's, like, all these layers of Bruce. Like, you get to see Batman doing cool action stuff. You get to see a lot of Batman being a detective, which, like, perfect combination. And, like, you even get, like, this midsection of Joker origin story, like, which is also phenomenal. Like, we don't, like, who, like, okay, was he abused as a kid and all this stuff? Probably. But you just get to see him going from being a mobster, and then and they don't even explain it. They're just like, he's the Joker now. And, like, I know it's explained in other parts.
Thrown into biochemical.
I know, but they don't show that in Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, okay.
And, like, I love that.
Oh, we're talking about a different movie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
In my head, I'm thinking of...
So, like, in this
Okay.
Batman universe, we do see all that other stuff in different parts. I'm so glad I rewatched it, because my heart, like, my nostalgia wanted to go for Return of the Joker because I was going to put an animated one, and I was going to put a live action one. And my heart wanted to go Return of the Joker because I love Return of the Joker as well.
You watch them both?
I did not watch them both, but I watched Return of the Joker last year, like towards the end of last. So it's been less than a year since I've seen it. And I watched Mask of the Phantasm again, and I was like, God dang, this is a freaking phenomenal movie.
Clearly. No debating.
I interrupted you earlier.
It's okay.
Talking about Bad Chemical, so I was thinking how great Jack Nicholson was.
Right.
And-
You were thinking about 89?
Yeah, I was like, man, that movie's so good. And it's my number 2.
Nice.
Because that movie's great. When I was a little kid, that VHS, you got to go back and put in the film again with your finger, put your thumb in there. That VHS got used more times.
Here comes a dirty joke.
Bitch, you guessing. That VHS got used more times than a downtown New York City phone booth.
That there's impressive.
That thing was in the VHS player constantly, because I watched that movie so many times because it's such a good movie as a child. Because, like, Joker, like, he's dark, talking about Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight, but also he's got teeth chattering. You wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. And, like, it's not too dark where it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get older, I can understand how good the filmmaking is. I can understand how good the acting is. And the acting's incredible in this film. From Michael Keaton to Bob the Goon, even. Like, everyone in this film is phenomenal. It's such a good movie. It defined Batman for generations on, which is the reason why we have my number 3 and your number 2, because that movie was like, Dark Batman will sell to a general public. The impact of this movie that really defined who Batman was.
Fucking right.
My number 3 is V for Vendetta. I love this movie a lot. Like I said, if I just went with my 4 Batman movies, this would have been my number 5. But yeah, I mean, anything that's a movie, like, look, I'm not a full-blown anarchist by any means. I think that government is important.
You surprised me.
I think that we need like some sort of structure to decide how we do society. But I don't think any society has found a good way to do it yet, because it always ends up being the rich people in power, and they always end up abusing the absolute shit out of their power. And that happens in every country on this planet, and especially right here, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Vote for the things that benefit you and that are ultimately forcing them to care about you, because, like, that's what it does. But do not think for a second that any of them give a crap about you, because they don't. I think some people get into politics with the intention of actually doing good.
2,000 years later.
They all suck. And this guy said, you know what? My government sucks, and I'm not advocating this, so stop if you're thinking about it. But that guy said, let's just wipe the whole slate clean. And he blows up Parliament and also kills a rapist, which I enjoy. And does it in style. This movie has so much style. Love it.
I haven't seen it forever. I saw like when it came out, and then I bought the Steelbook that came out like 3 months ago. What can you do? But if it's not your number 1, then, sir,
You're a buffoon.
my number 1 is The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything that hasn't been said on the internet 1,000 times. So it's my number 1.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I think it's time for a Dark Knight rewatch for me. So, like, it came out, I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen it since. It's been so many. And it's phenomenal, but it's like, it's basically on the top of everyone's, like, superhero movie lists, definitely DC movie lists.
Top 100 greatest films of all time.
Exactly.
It's transcended.
And it is. And I think that I'm hearing about how great it is so much now that, like, it feels boring. And that's only because I haven't watched it in a minute. And when I go watch it again, and this is why it's number 1. When I go watch it again, I'm going to be like, nope, everyone is 100% correct. This movie is fucking phenomenal. It is so good. I do think that there are better things you can do as far as, like, developing Bruce Wayne and Batman, but, like, that movie is gold, man. That's like a great movie. And, like, please, this time next year or 2 years from now, whenever we do another, like, DC movie list, like, let there be a movie better than The Dark Knight, because that means I'm going to have The Dark Knight, which is a phenomenal movie, and I'm going to have another really, really great DC movie. And that's what I want. I want good movies. That's what I want.
I thought about something that I can say about this movie that
Yeah.
no one's ever said before.
What's that?
'Cause this only happened to me.
Oh.
So I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I had this, like, I don't know, it was a bootleg copy of the movie The Dark Knight. Don't come after me, it's been 10 years. But it didn't have a menu, so it would just replay.
Oh, nice.
And I was really into superhero shit at that time, and I was him taking off the dark room.
So you're just high as a
And-
kite watching Dark
No,
Knight?
I didn't take my medicine.
Oh.
I refused to take the medicine. Like, the injections they gave me, that was it. And the pills, I didn't take none of the pills. But this movie was on repeat. And I was sleeping like 4 o'clock. I was like, oh, this must be late. I must go to sleep. Like, my sleep schedule's all over the place. I watched this movie for like, with TV out for like 3 days, right? Whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
I watched this movie for 3 days straight in pieces, different pieces. So I probably watched like 3 times altogether. But I took all the money took all the pills, sold them, and made a bunch of fucking money. He is going to be like, I don't advocate that. Don't blow up your government. Don't sell drugs. But it's a good hustle.
If you're not going to use them. That's not, well, I mean, hopefully, I guess potentially you could be killing someone by selling them too many pills, but like what they do with them after they buy them is their decision. So,
Facts. Hustle away, kids.
I thought that story was going to have something to do with the movie, but
Yeah, it
it
was
was
on.
ultimately you just trying to find a way to tell people you sold your drugs.
But it was the bootleg copy, and it played. So I watched this movie on like pieces. Sometimes I watch the same piece, but I probably watched it like 3 times altogether. But like it just kept playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing, and it was on for 3 days straight. The TV did not turn off.
I guess that is saying something about the movie that you kept the same movie on for 3 days straight and did not feel the need to switch to something else.
No, I definitely. I was like, I loved it. I was like, oh, I love this part. You know, I was like, yeah, here we go, because like there wasn't teeth and shit, and I'm like bleeding, and like a drool coming out my mouth. And I was like, this movie, But yeah, I loved it, and I was like, I don't feel the need to put in anything else, so I left it on 3 days straight while I had my wisdom teeth. But tell me what you thought about our top 5 down in the comment section below. Do you sell drugs? You should say no, because Batman might come get you. And you don't want that Robert Pattinson Batman to come get you, because he'll fuck you up, Jack. And I don't know about this one. I love Batfleck, but I don't know. Batman might kill your ass. He was shooting motherfuckers in Batman vs Superman left and right.
I mean, he was going to kill Superman.
He should have. Fucking jabroni.
Agreed.
Fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Do you bleed? Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.